We've talked a lot about the food items you should be stocking up on and storing. Today we're talking about 25 top items that are non-food items that you should stockpile. Let's check it out. So we have in the past talked about food-related items that you should be storing up on. We've talked about what types of stoves, backpacks, emergency gear, electronics, and all that, as well as communication options. But we haven't focused on non-food items that you should be storing, and I think that I have a lot of new preppers in my channel. They'd probably benefit from this. Now, this list isn't all-inclusive. There are, of course, tons of other things that you can come up with. You know, like I looked at this list out here and I thought, oh, no female supplies, you know, sanitary napkins and such, or tampons. So there are other things that you can add to this list. This is just my top 25. And what I did was I went from my storeroom to my closets to everything and brought them out. Some of this stuff came from my storeroom and it is storage stuff. Some of it's just stuff I use every day that's out and I brought it out. Again, it's not an all-inclusive list, and it also isn't as much as you should be storing. When I tell you to get toilet paper, I don't mean one roll. So let's start off with the most basic thing, and that first of all is soap. You'll see I have my Zest back there in the corner. That's what I use for soap. If you use liquid soap, stock up on it. I recently picked up the last 2 of those in storage. Now I have a lot put away, so this goes in my working pantry, you know, my working non-food pantry, and I use them up. And that's about a year's worth of supply for me between the 2 of them, more than that even. So you want to stock up on soap. Next up, laundry detergent. Now this one's going to kind of be weird. I got it hidden back here. This is this kind of white powder. I buy this stuff for laundry detergent. Honestly, it works very well in a pinch, and that's what I've been storing away. I have a lot of it put away, so that's why I've been getting it. It's also very cheap. You can get that stuff at the dollar store if you have to, and you can buy a 1-pack every single day. Kind of in line with that, next up would be dish soap. And again, you want to store more than 1 bottle, but dish soap. Make sure you keep dish soap. I was debating whether to mention your dishwasher. You know, little soap pods or dishwasher soap. If your dishwasher isn't running, that soap isn't going to do you much good. So I'd rather see you put money into this. This can be used in a dishwasher sparingly if your dishwasher is running, if there's electricity. So that's that item there. Let's move on to the next thing, shampoo and conditioner. Okay, I like to go out and stock up on this stuff. Whoops, let's not drop it. Stock up on this stuff whenever it's inexpensive. Whatever you use. Again, you know, this is what I use. You can get stuff cheaper. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Easy to get. So that's something else to get. And people don't think about soap and stuff like that, you know, keeping clean. The first thing you think is I need food and water, and then I need guns and ammo. You need this other stuff too. So let's move on to the next item. That's disposable razors. Now, I recently had my electric razor die on me, and I had to dig through my disposable razors, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to take stuff out of storage, you know, because then I have to replace it the same day. I'm like that. I'm obsessive about it. I have to replace it if I take it out of storage. So I picked up these. Again, these were fairly inexpensive at Walmart. You don't need super expensive razors. You know, again, these are for emergencies. So I do have some extras, and I also bought a new electric too. So you want to stock up on razors. You'd be amazed at how much you use a razor for so many different things. Next up, buried in the back there, is Band-Aids. Very common Band-Aids. As a matter of fact, I'm sporting one of these right now because I got a nice scratch on my arm and it got infected, so I had to clean it out. These are actually very, very handy. All different sizes, all different shapes. Keeping in line with that, I would say number 7 would be first aid supplies. Now you see I have some pain relievers and anti-diarrhea meds here. Build your own first aid kit. Don't just limit your first aid supplies to what you can buy in Walmart or Costco or whatever. Build your own kit. That's what I did with this. This is my own little, you guys have seen this numerous times, my own little first aid kit. And it goes from everything from heavy bleeding, I have a tourniquet in there, down to the most basic of things. The roll-up I bought in, I can't remember the name, Goodwill. And it was 25 cents. And I did modify it. I did put some paracord on top so I can kind of grab this and carry it with me. I'm losing things off the end of my desk here. Like that, so I can carry it along. And I stuck a flashlight on the end. So feel free to not only stock up on first aid items, but to build your own first aid kit and make it as complete as possible for your own personal needs. All right, let's move on to number 8, and that is calamine lotion. You would be amazed at how well this stuff works. You may remember this from your childhood when you were younger and mom slathered it all over your arm whenever you got a cut. This stuff works very, very well. Number 9, toilet paper. We all experienced this last time. Last time there was the slightest bit of a panic. What's the first thing that disappeared? And everybody's like, why were people stocking toilet paper? Well, really quickly, as an anecdote here, I remember early on in the pandemic, way before it hit us, like in December of 2019, they were talking about in China, people couldn't get toilet paper. And they mentioned it for 2 or 3 days, and they really hit hard on it in the news. And then they dropped it. And then once the pandemic hit us by March, people were buying toilet paper everywhere. So you definitely want to make sure you have toilet paper. And in the same vein, something else that wasn't available, number 10 here, is paper towels. And as you can see, I've been using that one. Paper towels, very, very important. If you can't find paper towels in a pinch, my radio co-host and I joke about this. We used to go into the auto parts store and buy the blue towels and use them. Way more expensive, but also reusable. And that lasted me fine through the pandemic. I got a bunch of those. Plus, I already had a ton of paper towels put away too. And I since restocked that supply too. So make sure you're getting toilet paper and paper towels. That's 9 and 10. Number 11, something people don't always think about here. Baby wipes. I'm just going to pull over here. Just a simple thing of baby wipes. Excellent way to wash yourself off after being sweaty, to wash up an infected area, maybe where you got a cut. Good for toilet paper, pretty much good for everything. So a lot of people were upset with people buying these during the pandemic because they were running out. And people were like, if you don't have a baby, you shouldn't buy them. I say, you know what? Stock them up now so you don't need to worry about any of that when it happens. And I was well stocked up on these when that took place. So I was good with that. All right, let's move on to number 12, cleaning supplies. You want to clean your house after a disaster? Of course. Just to get, again, a representation. I have some furniture polish and some Windex. I actually have Windex put away in my preps, and a good amount of it too. Because I figure I'm still going to want to keep my house clean. I'm still going to want to wash things off or wipe things down. You keep your windows clean. Who knows? So I definitely say stock up on that. That was number 12. Number 13 is going to be a good old basic here. Good old peroxide. Now, the use of this has been debated over a while. People are like, don't put it on open wounds. It ruins the skin nearby and all that. I still say for emergencies, peroxide is something good to have. You can also use it on a toothbrush to brush your teeth as long as you don't swallow it. It's not going to kill you, but it's not good for you. And you can use that in a bunch of different ways. All right, even there is a way. I think there's a way to purify water with it. But it's definitely handy for just the basic keeping yourself clean. Keeping maybe a paper cut clean. I'll tell you straight up, when I got this scratch here, I used it on my arm. Cleaned out the wound, put some antibacterial stuff on it, and I was good to go. So definitely important. You can pick that up at the dollar store. Those are good places to check it out. Walmart and dollar stores usually have the best prices on it. Same with rubbing alcohol. I usually like to get a higher percentage. I bought this one during the panic, and it was at the dollar store. And they were $1 back before they became the $1.25 store. And it's 50%, but it still is good for cleaning up. It still is good for sterilizing and cleaning yourself up. So definitely handy items to keep stocked up. Now another thing that ran out during the pandemic, and we didn't have any, number 15 is bleach. I have it back there. That is actually the one I'm using. Now, something about bleach. If you use bleach regularly, don't stock too much of it. You've got about 6 months before it's not as powerful as it was when you bought it. It starts to degrade over time. It isn't as good over time. You can get powdered bleach. I've actually, if you search in my videos, I've done a video on how to purify water with calcium hypochlorite powder and make bleach out of it. There is also a bleach generator that I've done. It was a small little USB device. You stuck in water with some salt and it made a bleach-like substance that cleaned just as well. So definitely stock up on bleach, but not too much. Don't go nuts with it. If you have pets, kitty litter. Great for emergency sanitation too. I have cats, so I stock up cat stuff, and you see the cat stuff over there. And kitty litter is good for cleaning up oil spills. It's good for traction in your vehicle when you're stuck in snow. It's good for a ton of different things other than just your cat's going to the bathroom in it. So that is number 16, kitty litter. Now, moving right along with that, number 17, cat food and supplies. My cats normally have dry food. They do love wet food, though. So I have a little bit of each stocked away. I have a few 5-gallon buckets of cat food stocked away. If you have dogs, usually that's a lot easier. You can buy big, huge bags of dog food. Not so much with cat food. I haven't seen any big, gigantic, 25-pound bags of cat food. I do have a lot of cat food, again, put away in Mylar bags and 5-gallon buckets with oxygen absorbers. It'll be good for a good long while. However, I do have cat food. And they also love their treats, so I make sure I got a bunch of those stocked up too. All right, number 18, lighters. Right here. Very, very handy. Bunches of different things. Yes, we all like to prove we're a great woodsman and can start fire with our flint and steel and our, and our char cloth, but lighters are much, much faster. Number 19, instead of candles, because I feel candles can be a danger during an emergency or disaster, stock up on these things. Light sticks. This is from UST. You can buy these almost anywhere. You can even buy the little thin, skinny ones in the dollar store, the ones you see kids wearing at raves or out at EDC every year. You can pick these up very, very inexpensively. You snap them and they're good for about 12 hours. Remember to rotate them. However, I've had some that are 11, 12 years old. Snapped them open and they burned out here for 12 hours perfectly fine. A lot safer than candles. However, if candles is all you can get, make sure you have a good sturdy base. They're up and away from pets or children, and they'll be nice and safe for you to use. All right, number 20, batteries. Should go without saying, stock up on your batteries. However you decide to do it, whether you do rechargeables, whether you want to get these, whether you want to do any other way, stock up on your batteries. Batteries have gone up in price ridiculously. I haven't had to buy them in a while because I not only stocked up on what I have in storage and I rotate through those, but I also have some that I'm rotating out while I bought new ones. And I did this a couple months ago before the prices started going nuts. They have gone up in price. So make sure you go through your devices and you see what batteries those devices use and stock up on those batteries specifically. Number 21, toothbrush and toothpaste. You don't want to start getting cavities in the middle of a SHTF situation. So definitely make sure you got a good stock of toothbrush and toothpaste. Toothbrushes should be changed, my dad being a dentist, every 3 months. Now, of course, nobody changes them that much. I'd say once a year, as long as you don't beat the heck out of it. When the bristles start looking nasty and going in all sorts of different directions, you want a new toothbrush, so definitely stock up on that. All right, number 22, Ziploc bags in a variety of sizes. You may not need the smaller ones, you may need a bigger one. That's one of the reasons why I have this one out here, because I buy the quart and I buy the gallon freezer bags. These are very handy. They have a little zipper on them. From Walmart, again, probably least expensive you can find out there. And beneath that, we're going to talk also about number 23, which is tinfoil. Yes, it's good for a whole lot of other things other than hats. Tinfoil really saves the day for a whole lot of situations. You can even cook on it. You can make a makeshift pan out of it. You can cover up leftovers. You can cover up potatoes that you throw in a fire to bake. Definitely make sure you're stocked up on tinfoil. And the heavy-duty stuff is better. Don't cheap out on tinfoil. Believe me, you'll be sorry if you cheap out on tinfoil because it won't live up to what it's supposed to do. All right, number 24. All right, paper plates and disposable cutlery. You see I got that, plus my clear forks and spoons. I have some clear knives too, however, they're about good for spreading butter, and that's about it. It's just not going to get the strength out of them. So if you don't want to waste your potable water, your drinkable water, washing dishes, definitely stock up on paper plates. After you use with them, you can even use them as fire starters. Rip them up when you got to start a fire, spark them, you'll get yourself a good fire going with them. The more fibrous ones are actually better for that. The styrofoam ones, I wouldn't recommend for using starting fires with, but you can start fires with them after they're done and get rid of them at the same time. So if you got a water shortage situation where you're kind of worried about wasting water washing dishes, stock up on paper plates. Super simple and easy to do. All right, and the last thing, and of course I have a very small amount of it out here, cotton balls and Q-tips. Invaluable. I have Q-tips out here stocked up for my firearms cleaning. I have Q-tips in the house, of course, stocked up for cleaning. They say you're not supposed to put them in your ear. You can still clean your ear with them. They work very, very well. And of course, cotton balls have a ton of uses. From making fire starters, to actually using them to clean yourself up, to cleaning small injuries. Whenever I use some rubbing alcohol on a cut or something, I'll always put it on a cotton ball and wipe the area off. So they definitely have a use and a purpose. So that is 25 items, or non-food items, that I feel that you should be stocking up on before any kind of situation arises. And remember too, a lot of these things now come from overseas. They get shipped in, not just from China, from a lot of other countries. So you want to make sure you got them ready to go for you. Anyway, that's the video for today. If you haven't stocked up on food, you can check our freeze-dried wholesaler link down below there. That link will give you 15% off just for clicking it. So all you got to do, click the link, you save 15%. For the people watching this video, that might be a big difference in getting some freeze-dried food put away for you. Below that, I have my Thrive Life store. I have a lot of new consultants that signed up last month and a few this month, as well as a lot of delivery customers, so welcome. But you don't need to do that to try Thrive Life or to buy it. If you never want to sign up for anything, you can just go there and purchase it. You'll save money being a delivery customer or a consultant. And below that is our My Patriot supply link. Okay? If you have no food stocked at all and you want to start with a good 3-month supply of food, my Patriot supply link down there, which is preparewithiridium.com, that's preparewithiridium.com, you can get a 3-month kit, $150 off. And of course, our Amazon affiliate store and our Jace Medical as well. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Have an awesome day. Stay safe and stay prepared.